Or Betty.
Robin, when did you find you were funny?
When did I find?
When did you find out you were funny?
Mine is more involved with something else. It's
Well,
premature MS. It's the whole thing. You know what happens.
A bad hair day.
Oh, worse.
Oh.
Oh, God, and look at me. If I have a bad hair day, it's all over. Oh, God. Oh.
Ah. When I looked down and saw something staring back with one eye. What are you looking at, my friend? I didn't really start to really be funny till college, when I took an improvisational theater class. And then I started to realize, oh, this is like, you can get laughs. It's not just because you're naked. And you know, that was the beginning of really performing funny. My mother's funny. She's a very, she's a very unusual one. She used to do a wonderful trick that she would do at parties where she'd cut a rubber band and then stuff it up her nose and then go, and this thing would fall down. Wonderful, works great, especially with executives from Ford Motor Company.
And what got you started making comedy?
Oh, God. Once again, the desire to meet women. It helps. If you're funny, I see the look there, like, yes.
It's true.
It does, it helps. Funny men are much nicer. And even in bed, if a guy comes to bed with a rubber chicken, it's a much more exciting time. And if you can make that talk.
Nice to see you. Over a period of time, you've only just begun.
No. So you see, it makes it more interesting. So that's one thing. Another thing is it kind of allows you to kind of put people at ease. I mean, if you just from the basic need for it. Lenny Bruce said that people do comedy because it's love me, you know, so that's the primal need.
Tell me, if you were born, or if you
If I was born.
No. If
Let's
you
just say that this body's not mine. If I was
born.
born and not in that tube, what would I look like?
No, if you're born a woman, if you have to born again and come up
A woman?
what
Who would I be?
would you like to be? What kind of woman would you like to be? And what would you like to do first?
What would you like to do first? What does it really taste like? No, that's not. You pardon me. What would I like to do first? Have my period, get that over with. Get that over with and go, what a release! Okay, next. I guess fall in love from a woman's point of view, you know? That whole thing. If I was going to be a woman. But, you know, God, looking at it, that's a whole other Anais Nin. That's an amazing question. I've really got to look at that now and not say, if you were a woman, what would you do?
Would you like to be a beautiful woman or just...
Probably be, you know, one of those women. Who's a woman if it's say, God, I like my wife because she's so fascinating. A woman like Susan Sarandon because she's got, you know, like that.
Good
a Brazilian
taste.
woman, you know, who can dance. You know, that beautiful thing.
Good taste.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that...
You...
you think about being... I mean, you see beautiful women and you know that they're gorgeous and stunning. And then there's other women that are stunning in another way, you know. When you look at Lauren Hutton and, you know, she's... And that's why this whole thing in America about young, you've got to be young. It's like, no, there's something wonderful. You see someone so elegant. And that's, you know, that's a whole other way to go.
You were a lonely child. Where were you like a teenager? Very popular?
No, same thing. I went to an all-boys private school. That's why Dead Poets, I understood that place really well. I didn't really start to kick into gear till college. You know, emotionally, sexually, everything kind of fell into place freshman year of college because I was away from home. And I didn't have to be in that car with a stick shift, which gave me an unreasonable sense of confidence.
Successful with girls?
Well, yeah, the one that inflated was the most fun. But no, I mean, yeah, in college it was, you know. That was when I really started to, you know, blossom if it was a time. And then the next year, sophomore, and started to really come into my own, probably just because I was more comfortable with my body and everything.
You are the quickest mind in the West, right?
No, there are others. There is a man in Pakistan who is much quicker. No, there's a lot of people say that about me, but there's, you know, there are many people who are just as quick. If not
Do you think you have a sort of compulsion that...
Yes. a major compulsion. One would say anal, but why go that way? One would say like a major, one could say you're either being, what I'm doing is an enema for the soul. Really, it's a major bowel movement. It is a compulsion. It's a desire to say, why are you dressed like a lemon? I don't know. It happened. Oh, God. No, it's fun.
You can help it.
I can't help it.
But sometimes you go out and you say, today I'm going to be very quiet.
No.
You won't, never you say to yourself, today I'm going to be quiet. I won't talk. Never, ever. No. Come on. Okay.
I fool you.
Okay.
All of a sudden, your time passes before you.
I was starting getting
I picked that
nervous
time.
here.
No, she's going to, this is a great time to do it now.
Not today, not now, please.
Not in my 20 minutes. So, no, there are times when I have to be, I fall back. I have to, because if you had that much energy the whole time, you'd be back on medication. But it would be, you have to shut down sometimes and just more observe.
But you seem, you're born with so many brains, so many minds.
So many brains
Yeah.
and so little time. That's what I think. Wouldn't it be nice if we had two? Shut up! Let me finish. This movie, Sybil, when you made it, it sucks. But I had a good time. You didn't. I was there. You were never around. You were in the trailer. And you, my little friend, what are you going to say? I got the watch. It's part of it. You see, you've triggered something what I like to call is the cesspool of consciousness. A deep-seated need to say things that you don't know why. I don't know where they come from. All of a sudden, I'm going to become Fabio. Listen, don't be afraid. I'm going to fix all of this. This is fabulous. This is good. And these things are all for me, a part of it. Things that happen to me around the world, I see. And then all of a sudden, I'm becoming like, girl, don't start now.
How many are you?
How many do you have? How many are you? That's a rough question. Then who be us?
Yeah. How many are we?
How many we?
Yeah. Well,
Are we
how
channeling
many
now?
do I have to interview here?
It's up to me. We can pretend we're Shirley MacLaine. I'll channel Catherine the Great, and you'll be Flicker. Okay.
Yeah.
No, wait. We can think it's like. It's just me. I just play. I'm not like some multiple personality, really.
But
Maybe.
Shh. But I saw you doing so many characters and accents and. Oh my God! Here we are in 24. I mean.
Yeah.
Something.
Something like that.
Yeah. And have you ever had that kind of thought that actors they usually have? Oh God, who am I?
And I woke up, and I was Brooke Shields. No, there's not a worry of like.
Any crisis?
Sometimes, yeah, there was a time, obviously, when I used to drink that, that's when you wake up and just wonder who you're with, and it turned out to be a small animal. But how was I? Not bad. Even in Brazil, that one will go well.
Yeah. Being so many must be hard
It's not so many, it's just me. I just play. I just, look at me, all of a sudden you became Dr. Jocelyn Enders.
Yeah. Let's go to
yes.
therapy. Have you ever been in therapy?
I still am. As we speak right now, and I'm cleaning my oven.
And you have to pay for many people, of course.
No, just one. Once again, just one. It's not multiple. You have some image that I'm going to actually turn into someone at the end of the interview. And where do you come up with that? I don't know! Now, just sit here with Uncle Jack, and we're going to read from Henry Miller, okay?
Okay.
I could see that would be a much more frightening interview.
Yeah,
But,
very interesting.
Other
He's a good
crises
writer.
sometimes, yeah. There was a time when, either because you're worried about stuff that you try and keep moving at a different pace. But there haven't been times where, do I wonder who I am? No, I know who I am. I'm a kind of quiet, shy person who loves his friends and family, that performs and has a great time performing, but it's not like, they're not interchangeable that way. I mean, I enjoy being around people, but performing is one thing, and, being around people is another. I mean, if I talk to you just as my self, this is not going to, and who might that be, sport? Really, monkey boy? So, you and Coco, what do you do at home? No, it's like, I have a very kind of subdued level, quiet.
I believe that.
I do, I see you do it like. Aladdin, that's another case. That's a cartoon.
Latin is.
Aladdin's probably the closest thing to performing because it's the only technology that allows you, except computer technology, listen, Sky King, that allows you to, be that many different, like you said, personalities. That's, just playing. And once again, they allowed me to do what I do in a small room without, lubrication, and let me create all these characters, and then they went off and drew them.
Is it easy for you to keep fresh this insanity?
No. You have to go, you have to charge, you have to rest, you have to kind of... A couple of nights ago, the closest thing I've had to being just flat out exhausted. I've been doing a movie, I had a press junket last week, and I was burnt, I was crispy. I was shit pie, as they say in America, which is a very lovely dish, served warm. And I was just exhausted, and then I had to just literally shut down for a couple of hours. You've got to. And then slowly but surely, the fun comes back again. But there are times when you're just empty. Friends, family, living in San Francisco.
Some reality.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Please, Miss Leary. I enjoy,
Not that
yeah,
much.
those people, it's mainly contact with wonderful people that, I got great friends. I have a wonderful wife. I have amazing children. And I live in San Francisco, a city that pretty much is, in its own way, very grounded, but in its own way is wonderfully surreal. A place where I don't stand out, I don't stand out next to a transvestite leather nun. I'm mild. I'm very much, I blend in there because it's a bizarre, wonderful city.
And you have also this romantic, sentimental side.
Ooh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
At last you saw that.
Yeah.
Let me say something. Oh, baby. I have that, there is a sentimental side kind of driven by yeah, it is that. There is that part that wants that kind of connection and that kind of sweetness and the sensitive kind of, that goes back to the quieter
You
parts.
get very emotional.
I do.
Yeah.
I get too emotional sometimes and I have to kind of, work, pull back a little bit on that because I'll cry at the opening of a letter. I think I
bank
probably,
account.
I have PMS, which is so sad. I'm one of the few men who gets it.
You know that feeling. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is more involved with something else. It's
Oh, don't
premature
tell.
MS. It's the whole thing.
yeah.
You know what happens.
A bad hair day.
Oh, worse.
Oh.
Oh, God, and look at me. If I have a bad hair day, it's all over. Oh, God. Oh.
You're telling me.
No, that's why there should be more women as world leaders, don't you think? Because
Yeah.
there never will be any war. Just every 28 days, some severe negotiations.
Yeah, what did you learn from being a woman in Mrs. Doubtfire?
I learned that you put yourself through such amazing pain to look good.
Uh,
Heels must have been designed by someone who went, this is for you, mother.
Me too.
I know those heels and like bras and the stuff all the stuff you do to make yourself into. I said I was in makeup for 4 hours and some woman went, that's just the tip of the iceberg, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you imagine, you think of the women who get the plastic surgery, like Gloria Vanderbilt and
Yeah.
someone loosen my braids. And you get all that, and people getting their breasts done and all those amazing things. And I just had my testicles done, and that was enough. Everyone has their penis enhanced, but why not have, grande cojones, el max mazos. What are you? It's the World Cup. Copa del Mundo. I saw Brazil play when they played in Stanford when they played the American team. That's wild. You got the greatest fans when they go. I don't want to be on the losing end of that, but when that rhythm section,
Yeah,
oh
we
man,
have the-
that's better than the wave. It's more than, it's body surfing. It's
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah.
Bom, bing, ting, bing. Bom, bing, ting, ting.
Yeah,
See already?
Brazil, yeah,
See,
sure.
bravo.
Yeah. Jumanji talks about fears and to overcome your fears. Are you familiar with the sensation?
Yeah, I am. First you have to acknowledge you're afraid. If you keep trying to deny it, that tends to back you up. Physical fear, yeah. Before performing every night, when I go on stage or stuff, I get like this narcolepsy that's like a thing that's obviously a response to fear. Have I been in physically fearful situations? A couple of times. And you just have to kind of acknowledge it. And the most humbling experience in the world is to be in the ocean. Because the ocean, just can slap you down in a second, and just break you like a twig. And I've been, deep diving with dolphins and been body surfing in storm, not hardly, 5-foot waves and a lot of people going, oh, man. But, that humbles you in a second. And, you realize that it doesn't care who you are. and you're out there in a thing, and a seal's looking at you like, you're very attractive. And even though I'm a sea lion, I'm not afraid to say I can get you out of that wetsuit. But, you know, that's, yeah, I've been in those situations. And you just have to admit you're afraid, but still keep going.
So, keep going.
I will, you too.
Thank you so much, Robbie, for
Thanks.
this interview.
It was fun, thanks. We had a good time. It wasn't, have I ever had any crisis?